Hey guys, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don and we have a treat today because it's Jason Eady. I don't know the song Mean Spirits, but I've probably done 8 or 10 of Jason's songs, and Roger Smith is the primary contributor to me doing so many reactions of Jason's, possibly all of them. And Jason, I've given a number of 10s. He's just a very unique lyricist, and his musicality is creative. And I've learned in the 6,000 plus reactions I've done, is creativity speaks very loudly to me. It's got to be done well, of course, but I'm not a big fan of cliche, and that's why I'm not a big fan of pop country, because it's just formulaic. And Jason is anything but formulaic. So Roger, thank you for this gift and request, my friend. We're jumping right into this bad boy. We're going to see what Jason has for us. This may have come out just recently. It didn't have that many views, and that generally means it came out recently. All right, here we go.
Well, I've had enough of mean spirits.
Yeah?
Taking me places I don't want to go.
They within them?
And I'm giving up on mean spirits. Gotta get back what's good for the soul.
Yep.
Well, I had to break up with the bottle. Started out fun and it brought me down.
Bite.
And I had to ask myself some questions, and I had to get right with what I found. And I've had enough of mean spirits, taking me places I don't want to go.
It's embarrassing after a while.
And I'm giving up on mean spirits. Gotta get back what's good for the soul.
A lot of places
show
you
me
can go
your friends
now.
and I'll show you your future. Find the ones you wanna keep around, 'cause others are like crabs in a bucket. You start to get up and they pull you back down.
What a life.
And I've had enough of mean spirits, taking me places I don't wanna go. And I'm giving up on mean spirits. Gotta get back what's good for the soul.
It's an interesting line. Clapton-esque guitar there on Unplugged. Underneath it all.
Well, everybody's screaming at each other, and everybody's got something to say.
Man.
Just turn off your TV and talk to your neighbor, and be the reason somebody has a better day.
All right.
I've had enough of mean spirits, taking me places I don't wanna go. Yeah, I'm giving up on mean spirits. Gotta get back what's good for the soul.
Good for others
Gotta
too.
get back what's good for the soul.
Yep. There's a lot in there. I don't know how short I'll keep this one, but there's so much of life experience in that. At first, regarding the song, I thought when he said, "I've had enough of mean spirits," that he was going to be talking about other people. And it became obvious very quickly, like in the next line, that he was talking about himself. And he was talking about alcohol. And alcohol is referred to as spirits. Like even when you see a liquor store, you drive by it, it'll be like spirits and wine or whatever. And it's just an interesting way of depicting alcohol. Like I don't know when the first person was that said spirits, and then it took off. But then he's like, yeah, I started drinking at some point, and then it just sort of took over. And so it started out as kind of like a nice thing, maybe a fun thing. Then I became a mean dude. And I know, well, I'm thinking of one person in particular, and they got mean when they got drunk. And I don't relate to that because I mean, back in my party days, mostly in college, and of course, you party. I was hard driving back then, and then a couple of years after that, I didn't really get mean. I mean, I got crazy, of course, because all my buddies. That's just what you do when you get hammered and whatever, and sometimes you do or say things that are embarrassing when you found out the next day. But I didn't really get mean. So I can't relate to it, but I've seen it. And I've heard other people talk about it themselves, just like Jason's talking about it here. Like I mean, you start out with something that's good, it feels good, and then whether it's cigarette smoking or whatever, and anybody who smokes knows they need to quit. They'd be better off if they did. It's less expensive, better for your health. Run down the list of things. But it gets hard. The longer you do something, the harder it is to quit. But the battlefield of life is in the mind, and if you're a determined individual, then you'll quit that stuff. And here, Jason did, evidently, and I think this is autobiographical. It just sounds it. And there were some thoughts in there that were somewhat disjointed. And this is, in a sense, like emblematic of the songwriting process of what do you put in a song, what do you take out of a song, and once you decide to put the vignettes in a song, how do you weave them together? What are your transitions between, not instrumentally but lyrically? You want them to make sense. But I like that he sort of kept it to himself. Like the focus was on himself. And so it was that sliver of life of he was tired of himself when he was under the influence of alcohol because he turned mean. But he didn't talk about anybody else, their reaction to him or anything like that. He just kept it on himself. And that's, personal responsibility. That's personal awareness. I remember back when I was 24 and I decided that I was going to stop partying as hard as I was partying, with my buddies. And it was a Friday night. And as usually a night we'd go out. In fact, there was always a night we'd go out. And I was like, fellas, instead of getting hammered so early, hitting the clubs and all, why don't we just sort of hang, watch a movie? We could drink while watching the movie, but not get as hammered. And they didn't want to. They were like, no, wait, because they were still partying hard too. And I remember that first night that I stayed home. And it's back when cable was truly cable, where you had the box and you'd slide the thing and you had, maybe 30 channels back then as opposed to hundreds now. And I watched a movie and I sat home by myself and I drank some beer, but like I didn't get hammered to the extent that I would have had I been out in the clubs because I just realized I had no life-changing events. I didn't meet the woman I was going to be with in life. Like all the reasons you go out to bars that I was anyway, to meet a girl. And I'll have fun with the fellas, of course, but it was about the girl. And for me, it was always more than a one-night hookup because I'm a relationship guy. And I just remember, God, I've been partying for years now and none of this has happened. And I've spent all my money by the next morning, And so I just basically stopped, and I haven't been drunk since. And I like my glass of wine every night, but I can relate on a certain level to just looking at your life, looking at yourself. And in his case, he got mean. Usually being mean means getting into fights, saying stuff to people, hurting other people, and then you don't like yourself. So I love songs like this, just self-realizations and change. And then he even went in the end, toward the end of the song anyway, in the last quarter or so, is, you know, like, be the reason that someone else has a better day. And that I relate to because I started doing that, I don't know, 20 years ago or so, whatever it was, where really the way it worked for me was when I was taking yoga and my teacher Ranjita, during the teacher training, you know, because I'm a certified yoga teacher, and Ranjita had said, look, guys, if you're going to believe the bad things about yourself, you've also got to be willing to believe the good things about yourself. Because when you see the good things in yourself, it's a lot easier to see the good things in others. And I thought, man, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I like that. Well, then I started to sort of see some of the strengths that I've got instead of just the deficiencies. And as I started to see them, I started seeing them in others. And I started just getting along with people better because I would look for the good things in them. And it just is a lot better in relationships with people. But like if you're hammered and mean, you're going to be talking mean. And then you feel like a jackass, especially if it's not really in your heart to be mean. So you take away the mechanism that's breaking down your walls, that's allowing you to be mean. And in this case, it was alcohol. So anyway, Roger, that was a hell of a song right there. You knew, you knew, my friend, that I'd probably take off on this. Yeah, all right, so I'm going to leave it be at that. I'm going to rate this one. And the number that popped into my head right away was a 9.1. The honesty, the creativity, it was not normal, so to speak. It was not formulaic. It was just revealing. But I also like, be the reason someone has a better day. And it's not hard to do that. You just got to be willing to step up to the plate and do it. So, and you have to be an observer of good things. Not just, you can see the bad too, but you see the good things in others, speak to them. Just say, hey, you're really creative, or you're really disciplined, or you're so patient, or you're inspiring, or whatever. They'll have a better day. Believe me, people go weeks without hearing a good thing about themselves, sometimes months. All right, guys, you can thank Roger Smith for that one. Have a great day. See you on another video, and keep rocking the country.
And everybody's got something to say. Just turn off your TV and talk to your neighbor, and be the reason somebody has a better day.